I was not unemployed for long, and did not enjoy as long with my family as we had hoped. Bartolomeo Petrucci sent a messenger, who arrived at my home a week after my return. As was usual, my wife sat in on the meeting. "Captain Acuto, my master needs to hire your company, for the Malatesta family and their allies are attempting to steal land that is ours." The land ruled by the Petrucci was to the east of Florence, while the Malatesta family ruled the east coast. The Petrucci family were allies of Florence, and as I was paid a stipend to defend Florence, then an offer of work for them did not cause a conflict of interests. I would be doing the work of Florence. The Malatesta family were the enemies of Florence and always had been. The Malatesta family was not as strong as it had once been, but they were still a threat to Florence's eastern borderlands. "And what is the length of the contract?" "We need you to discourage them, my lord. My master has already hired another Englishman, Giovanni Beltoft, and he is headed there now. You will be paid 20,000 florins. For that sum you may have my company for a month." "A month? Will that be long enough?" I smiled. The Malatesta family is not what it once was. It will be long enough. Men did not argue with Sir John Hawkwood, and he nodded. The contract was agreed, and the money would be waiting for me when I reached the Petrucci land. We would meet the others at Mondavio. I still had 500 lances, and the money would stop me from losing men. I summoned my lieutenants. John Coe, John Eddingham, and Robert Saxlingham were paid more than my other leaders. They were loyal and had proved that they could lead men into battle. Donina had commented that every Englishman who came to me was called John. She may have been right. My leading lancers were all English. John Wanlock, John Vale, Johnny Butler, John Culpepper, Johnny Svim, John Liverpool, John Lye, and John Balzan. David Falcon, Richard Swinfort, Roger Baker, and Richard Norlant were also part of the company. I was never confused, but the Italians seemed to think that every English lance was christened Giovanni. John Balzan had brought with him more than a dozen lances, and I knew that he had ambitions to be a condottiero. I was under no illusions. Many Englishmen came to work for the White Company as a sort of apprenticeship to see how the great John Hawkwood did what he did. I took it as a compliment. I was happy to use English lances, for they were reliable, and I felt I could trust them. The language helped. I could speak other languages, but I was most comfortable with English. Germans and Hungarians were untrustworthy, and Italians were less predictable. As Giovanni had shown, even Italians whom I thought I could trust might let me down, and when I had been betrayed in the past, then Germans and Hungarians had been the reason.